Many years ago, on a bright, sunny day in the lively neighborhood of Yaba, the air smelt of the familiar chaos of city life. Vendors called out loudly to customers in order to sell their goods, while early morning commuters rushed for space on overcrowded buses. Amidst all the noise and activity, Tolani moved through her day with a calm and quiet demeanor. Each morning, long before the sun fully rose, Tolani was already up and moving. By 7 a.m., she was already on Victoria Island to resume her job as a cleaner in a corporate office. It was a tough job, physically and mentally demanding, but Tolani refused to let the stress of the job stop her. When she got back from Victoria Island, she hurriedly had a quick breakfast of gari and groundnuts, then rushed off to start frying yam and plantain at a busy street corner in Yaba. The hot oil while frying often burned her arms and legs, but Tolani did not mind as she greeted her customers with smile whenever they came to buy. She spent her afternoons and evenings frying yam and plantain, often working late into the night before finally retreating to her modest one-room apartment in Yaba. Her days were very busy, and her body got tired and weak on most days, yet she kept going because her reasons were far greater than herself. Tolani's relentless effort was for one reason alone: her son, Sheyi. At just 5 years old, Sheyi was the light of her life. His laughter was her medicine, his hugs were her sanctuary, and his curious questions was her escape from the harsh realities of her own world. She often found herself staring at him while he slept, marveling at the beauty of his innocence. "Mommy, when I grow up, I will buy you a big house," he would often say, and Tolani would only smile and fight back her tears whenever he said those words. Sheyi was her everything, the reason she rose before dawn and the reason she collapsed into bed late at night. Every kobo she earned went towards his school fees, his clothes, and his future. As a single mother, Tolani had no luxury to dream for herself anymore, as her entire existence now revolved around ensuring that Sheyi would have opportunities that she never had. But life hadn't always been this way. Tolani once had dreams, and I mean big, bold dreams. In her early 20s, she was a vibrant young woman with ambition of opening a high-end fashion boutique. She had studied fashion design for a few months and spent countless nights sketching designs she hoped would one day walk the runways of Lagos Fashion Week. It was during this hopeful period that she met Femi. Femi was charming, ambitious, and full of promises. He swept her off her feet with his sweet words and grand visions for their future. "Tolani, my baby, together, see, we will take over Lagos," he would say, and Tolani innocently believed him. Their romance sparked quickly, and it was filled with late-night calls and long evening walks discussing their dreams and plans for their future. They went out on dates as well, and never went a day without saying or talking to each other. Tolani, because of this affection from Femi, was certain that she had found her life partner. But everything changed when Tolani found out that she was pregnant. She had been overjoyed and had imagined a future where she and Femi would raise their children together. However, Femi's reaction when she told him of her pregnancy was nothing she had expected. His response was cold and cruel. "I am not ready for this, Tolani. Who told you I want a child now, And why did you not even take care of yourself? Are you a baby? Are you a baby, Tolani? He said bluntly. And that was the very last of Femi that Tolani saw. When Tolani saw that Femi had disappeared from her life, she was heartbroken, but she had to move on. Pregnant and heartbroken, Tolani relocated to another neighborhood in Lagos, with high hopes and believing that the city's bustling opportunities could provide a better life for her and her unborn child. But her reality was far from what she had hoped. Her first weeks outside of her parents' house were full of challenges that made her consider going back. She had barely no money and no concrete plans, so she reached out to a friend of hers who offered to let her stay in her apartment for a while. Her friend's apartment was cramped and overcrowded, with almost no privacy, but she was in no position to complain. After all, she wasn't paying any rent. The days that followed were grueling for Tolani. She went from door to door, handing out a CV to every office in the neighborhood, desperately hoping for an opportunity to work. But when nothing came true, Tolani resorted to doing menial jobs just to make ends meet. After a few months of doing menial jobs, she was able to save some money and she began house hunting. Finding an apartment became a nightmare on its own. She encountered some agents who scammed her and was taken to apartments in dangerous areas that she couldn't bring herself to consider, especially with her baby on the way. So when she finally secured the one-room apartment in a manageable, though noisy and drama-filled compound, it was a bittersweet victory. The house was a face me I face you house, and her neighbors were nosy that they constantly pried into her life. Aside from that, the walls of the rooms were so thin that arguments from the next room often felt like they were happening right beside her. As the weeks progressed, Tolani's pregnancy progressed, but when she was in her third trimester, she couldn't do most of the menial jobs anymore. Because of this, she had to start job hunting all over again. Her search for a job this time was even more disheartening. Many employers turned her away the moment they noticed her growing belly and dismissed her with the fact that she was heavily pregnant. But just as she was beginning to lose hope, luck smiled on Tolani. One afternoon, while waiting at a bus stop around Yaba, she struck up a conversation with an older woman who seemed very friendly to her. The woman was intrigued by Tolani's story, and she turned out to be the HR of a company in Victoria Island. She told Tolani that they would be employing a new batch of cleaners in a few months' time. She proceeded to give Tolani her business card and told her to call her in a week's time regarding the job. While waiting for the cleaner's job, Tolani decided to use some of her savings to start a fried yam business so that she can meet some of her needs. This turned out to be less stressful than the menial jobs that she did, even though the turnover was little since she started. A few months later, Tolani got the cleaning job on Victoria Island. Before she left home in the mornings, she dropped off Sheyi at the apartment of one of her nice neighbors, who happened to run a local crèche in the neighborhood. By 2 p.m., she resumed at her stall to begin frying the yam, and by 6 p.m., she hurriedly went back to pick up Sheyi when the crèche closed. Tolani did the cleaning job and a fried yam business and was able to save some money to secure another one-room apartment that was a little bit better than this one she's living in. Although it was a face me I face you as well, it was a little bit better as it had less occupants and more basic amenities like a borehole and a kitchen. Tolani was beginning to get a footing bit by bit. She had some good days and some bad days because she had to deal with some neighbours drama which caused her a bit of heartache. To add to Tolani's pain, her new neighbours were relentless in their judgments. Women in their compound often whispered behind her back and accused her of sleeping with their husbands. Men flirted with her openly and made inappropriate comments that left her feeling exposed and humiliated. One afternoon, a woman stormed into Tolani's room and accused her of having an affair with her husband. Single mothers like you are always looking for who to trap. You better go and look for your own husband and leave mine alone. After all, I'm not the one that said you should get pregnant out of wedlock. Neither am I the one that said your baby's father should abandon you with pregnancy. Tolani, leave my husband alone. The next time I come here to talk to you, I will not talk to you. Instead, I will embarrass you openly. She hissed and stormed out of her room. Tolani couldn't say anything, as she was already tired of denying those false accusations time and time again. After that accusation, she decided to keep her head down and avoid any form of interactions, but the whispers from her neighbors never stopped. The church, which should have been a refuge, became another source of pain. Tolani joined the women's fellowship group, hoping to find solace and companionship, but she was met with cold shoulders and a classist attitude. During women's meetings, she was often ignored or talked over, and some women even didn't respond to her greetings when she greeted them. As if that was not enough, Tolani's family added more salt to her injury. When she attended any family gathering, some of her aunties would bombard her with unsolicited advice. At her cousin's wedding ceremony one time, one of her aunties said to her, "Tolani, you are not getting any younger. Hey, you better just agree to be a second wife, because no serious man will marry a single mother. There are lots of single girls out there, that are looking for husbands. Is it now you that is after one, that a single man will say he wants to marry? Tolani, before time goes, agree to be a second or a third wife. I'm telling you my own. A word, they say, is enough for the wise." Those words stung Tolani, but she refused to let them crush her spirit. She had a son to raise, and she would do so with so much dignity. Despite all the ridicule and isolation, Tolani kept pushing. She worked tirelessly to provide for Sheyi, ensuring that he never went to bed hungry. It was during one of those days of selling fried yam on a sunny afternoon that she met Kunle. Kunle was a regular customer who was always polite and quick to pay. But one day, he lingered and engaged her in a conversation. He asked about her life and if she had any other plans besides frying yam. At first, Tolani was cautious, unsure of his intentions, but Kunle assured her that his kindness was genuine, as he had seen her strength and he admired her resilience. One thing led to another, and their relationship blossomed quickly, like a flower opening up to the morning sun, revealing layers of trust and affection with each passing day. Kunle didn't just love Tolani, he respected her. He admired her strength, appreciated her resilience, and treated her like a queen in every sense of the word. He not only embraced Tolani for who she was, but also took Sheyi under his wings without a second thought, showering the boy with the kind of love and guidance he had longed yearned for from a father. For the first time in years, Tolani felt not just seen, but truly valued, as though all the struggles and sacrifices she had made were finally being acknowledged. Kunle often told her, "You've done so much on your own. Let me carry some of that weight for you, Tolani. Please." His voice held a sincerity that touched her deeply, and his actions even spoke louder. Kunle showed Tolani that he loved her in so many ways. One of the most memorable moments was when she was preparing for her first fashion school presentation. This was an opportunity she wouldn't have had if Kunle hadn't secretly enrolled her months earlier after noticing that she still had passion for fashion design. Tolani did not want to go to school anymore because she was unsure if she was ready to pursue her dream again after years of putting herself last. But Kunle motivated her to stop the fried yam business to pursue her dreams while she focused on the cleaning job to meet some of her basic needs. On the night before the presentation, he sat with her in the room and helped her arrange her sketches while also reviewing her concepts. He reassured her at every step and reminded her of her talent and who she was. On the very big day, Kunle surprised her with a custom bag to carry her designs. Inside the bag was a note that read, "You've got this, Tolani. The world is about to see what I already know. You are extraordinary." Sadly, that same week, Sheyi fell ill. Tolani was overwhelmed with worry, struggling to balance work and caring for her son. Kunle, without being told anything, immediately stepped in. He took Sheyi to the hospital and ensured that he got the best care possible. He even handled most of the house chores when he got home, so that Tolani could take some rest and regain her strength for another day. Tolani had not gotten over this when Kunle further proved his love to her on her birthday. Now, Tolani had never been one to celebrate a special day, but Kunle made sure he celebrated this one for her, and it was very memorable. He planned a surprise dinner with her closest friends and even got Sheyi involved in creating a handmade card. When Tolani walked into the beautifully decorated room, tears welled up in her eyes. For the first time in years, she felt celebrated, not just as a mother, but as a woman deserving of love and joy. Kunle's love continued to be romantic and deeply rooted in partnership and respect. He did not try to change Tolani or overshadow her. Instead, he uplifted her and allowed her to be herself every time. With every kind word, every kind act, every act of care, and every shared moment, Tolani began to slowly trust that Kunle's love was real and here to stay. After a few more months of dating, Kunle and Tolani got married in a small but beautiful ceremony. After the wedding, Kunle also officially adopted Sheyi, which further cemented their bond as a family. But just as life was beginning to be perfect for Tolani, the unthinkable happened. Her son's father, Femi, reappeared and started demanding custody of their son. His sudden interest in fatherhood came wrapped in fake words about wanting to make up for lost time and giving Sheyi the life that he deserved. Tolani could barely contain her disbelief when he showed up. This was the same man who had turned his back on her during her pregnancy. The same man who had never once bothered to check if Sheyi even had enough to eat. And now he wanted to play the role of a devoted father. The matter that Tolani felt was a small case soon escalated quickly to court. Femi hired an expensive lawyer and tried to paint himself before the court as a changed man. He showed up in expensive suits and spoke about his newfound stability and ability to provide a better future for Sheyi as his biological father. He even lied that Tolani had prevented him from seeing Sheyi claiming that his years of absence were somehow her fault. Tolani, on the other hand, recounted her struggles as a single mother. She spoke about the sleepless nights and the sacrifices she had made to ensure that Sheyi had a roof over his head, he had an education, and he had a happy childhood. The court proceedings stretched on for weeks, with each day more draining than the last. Tolani began to worry. What if the judge believed Femi's polished lies? But, as God would have it, her fears were put to rest when the court began to see through his facade. Witnesses were called, including Tolani's neighbours and Sheyi's teachers, who attested to Tolani's devotion as a mother. They painted a stark contrast to what Femi said, and said Femi conveniently reappeared only after seeing that Sheyi was already thriving. After the proceedings, and the judge wanted to give his final verdict, he addressed Femi directly, his tone sharp and unwelcoming. You claim you want custody out of love, but love is not sporadic or conditional. Where were you when this child took his first steps? When he cried through the night, needing a father's presence, where were you? Parenting is not a right to be claimed at convenience. It is a responsibility born through consistent actions. And you, Mr. Femi, have been nothing but absent. Having said that, the court ruled in Tolani's favor and granted her full custody of Sheyi. It was a moment of triumph and deep emotions. The years of pain and sacrifices Tolani had endured were finally validated. Femi left the courtroom in silence and was very ashamed, while Tolani held Sheyi close and planted loving kisses on his face. In the days that followed, Tolani's fashion house thrived because she finished her training and opened her own fashion house. Sheyi excelled in school, and Kunle remained her unwavering support. Tolani and Kunle had 3 children together, and their family thrived in all areas of life. To all the amazing single moms watching this, you are the definition of strength and resilience. Every day you show up with love, determination, and courage, even when the road gets tough. Remember, your sacrifices are shaping a brighter future for your little ones. And you, yourself, you are worth more than 1,000,000 diamonds. To all the amazing people watching this, you are amazing as well. You are the definition of strength and resilience. Keep believing in yourself. You've got this, darling. So, what are your thoughts on Tolani's story? Please share your opinions in the comments below. Thank you for joining me on this story. I appreciate your attentive ears. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more amazing folktale stories. And also please give this video a thumbs up to support me, and also share to your friends and loved ones for them to also watch. It is also a way of showing your support to me. Thank you once again.